Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harpin and Rugby preview show on our YouTube channel. Please don't be shy with the like and/or subscribe button if you can. Joining me to look ahead to Leinster's final regular season URC fixture this season is someone back for his 115th Harpin cap. Hello once more to Mr. Neil Keego Keegan.
Happy Friday. The sun is out. Leinster are back to winning ways, and I don't know what day it is, so it's good to talk to you.
Indeed. Well, we haven't had John for a few weeks. Last time we were previewing the game against the Scarlets. Now, I don't know. I can't remember what happened in that game. And there was another game the week after that. I know we beat Zebra last week. Maybe you can quickly go over what's happened in the meantime, what you thought of it.
Okay, so where do we start? So we start with the big game. Like I think it was a bad day at the office, and I think the problem is, and I fell into this, and we talk about it after every game. Avoid People need to avoid social media straight away. No problem, no questions asked. You do not know better. I think that's the key. I know enough to know I don't know any better, and I still do it. But anyone watching this, you don't know better. So, all the stuff that came out of it, there was more conspiracies than the JFK assassination. I think turning the page was the quickest thing. And the frustrating part then is we roll into, I know it was always going to be a big win against Zebra. Um, the problem is when things happen a week too late, that's when the frustrations come in, or 2 weeks too late, whatever game we're talking about. And so now it becomes so much more important to get some silverware into that trophy cabinet. Now it's almost looking like a Munster trophy cabinet over the last few years. So we need to just calm down, keep it going. It was a rough couple of weeks in the office there. It looks like we're coming back. Interesting selection for tomorrow. But look, the past is the past. The future is only the past with the lights on. Somebody said that.
Yeah, it's like when you say stay off social media, you mean, of course, excluding the Harpin and
Oh,
Rugby
sorry.
social media channels, of which you can totally cover with absolutely no fears whatsoever. No, seriously, look, it was a bad couple of weeks. There was absolutely no amount we could have beaten Zebra by last week that would
Yeah.
have washed away what happened. But I think that match was important in that it allowed a second week of the frustrations to get out, and now, like you say, you've got to push on. It's the
Mhm.
rest of the season. There's still a trophy to be won. It's time to get all that out of the system and see what happens now. So fingers crossed. Whatever. It doesn't really matter if the fans can do it, but once the squad can do it,
Yeah, 100%.
hopefully. Okay, well, listen. Let's look at our feature match of the week, which is, of course, Leinster v Glasgow in round 18 of the 24-25 BKT United Rugby Championship. The game is taking place at the Viva Stadium on Saturday, May the 17th, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. TV coverage is on RTE2, Premier Sports 2, and URC.tv. Leinster named their matchday squad at lunchtime on Friday. If you're watching on YouTube, it should be right up there on the screen. Or for pod listeners, you'll find it in the program notes. Now, Keego has picked out some points about this Leinster team, starting with a certain returnee to the starting lineup.
Absolutely. And listen, it's great to keep this momentum going in that we can't relax. It's a top of the table clash. Even though we're at home in a couple of weeks, we still need to keep those performances coming. Glasgow are no joke. And it's great to see Ryan back. I know he's one of these people where, you know, there was a phase of time where you couldn't injure him, and then he had a bad run, and then he's been out for a little while this season. So it's great to see him back. It's, he's picked for the lines, all that sort of stuff. But it's more important in blue to put in a big shift today. And I think him with Snyman there beside him, I think that's elite level, top level second row. And I think we need to see them do a really, really big job. Glasgow are no joke, but it's great to see Ryan back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. We follow the Leinster injury update report week in, week out here in Harpin and Rugby, and for a few weeks there, Ryan was in the bottom
Yeah.
end of that profile. No further information, no further news, no further blah blah blah. So it didn't look good. Thought his season was done. So this is a big bonus for Leinster, and it's great to see him back. He was a stint off the bench last week. Starts this week. Partner with RG. Really good for the second row. Your
Yeah,
second point
100%.
is about the selection in general.
Yeah, I know. I know we keep talking when we're talking about the greatness of the rotation and all that sort of stuff and things. We have that bad 2 weeks and all of a sudden everybody's in trouble. But like I sometimes you think, okay, coming back from Six Nations, slow integrations back in, we get into Europe, all that sort of stuff. Like I can't figure out the logic. And again, they know far better. Like the squads that are being picked since the Northampton game, that this is our second selection, are brilliant teams. Now I know Ryan may not have been ready, so take him out. But like the rest of them, Like I love the idea of Robbie Henshaw at 13. Like there's obviously something they're looking at, and and with Barrett and Snyman on the pitch at the same time, it's just I get we got to trust the squad, and that's the whole point of this rotation that we keep talking about. But at the end of the day, we're seeing now what should be happening at the business end of a season. Everyone has performed well, but it's the top players week in, week out, rest of the season. They're rugby players, they're mutants, they are bruised up, calloused up from the age of 7. They're ready to play, they're ready to rock. And this is the frustrating point. This should have happened a few weeks ago. And like the problem is now the only way the coaching team can be found right is if Leinster lose.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's that weird David Duchovny dichotomy. Like we want this all the way through from the quarterfinals of every competition all the way through. This is the type of team selection we want, injuries aside. So it's just a little bit of frustration creeping into me here, and obviously it shouldn't. We're the envy of every rugby team in the world over the last 15, 20 years, but it's just a little bit of frustration creeping in with selections.
Yeah, we had this debate after that Northampton game, and how do Leinster proceed? We knew we had these two. We hadn't clinched top spot yet, but it was more or less clinched. So
Mhm.
what way do we go selection? And almost unanimous, the answer was just go full bore, best
Yep.
selection week in, week out for the rest of the season. And they haven't 100% done that. They're holding back. You can see, like you say, there's a couple of players there that are getting game time, and it's good to see the kind of the Kieran Frawleys and the Jamie Osbornes
Yep.
getting a little bit of game time now, because they very well might be needed over the next few weeks if things go a certain way. So, but oh no, overall, it is a strong 23. Sam, I think definitely can do with the extra game time. Robbie Henshaw going into 13, it still means Geordie starts. It's this always thing. People say one player or the other. Well, how about both? So good to see them. Interesting to see them playing together. They're up against a very strong center
Yep.
pairing this time. So that'll be key. But listen, it is what it is. They're going with a strong, and also on top of all this, the team has lost Caelan Doris.
Yeah.
And that is, most teams would be absolutely almost gone with that. But not only is the replacement a natural captain, not only is the replacement a natural number 8, the replacement is also a Lion as well. So it's like we're steeped in that to have Jack able to step in. So overall, it's a strong lineup. But like you say, the way selections went previously, it can be frustrating. So so that's the Leinster team. So let's have a quick look at Glasgow. While Leinster have been in the top spot for most of the URC season, the reigning champions were leading the chasing pack until they were overtaken by the Bulls and Sharks in recent weeks. But they're still guaranteed a home quarter final, and it's not completely out of the question we might be facing them again if we both advance in the playoffs. So what do you make of their lineup, Keego?
Yeah, I love you mentioned earlier on. I love their midfield, and I mentioned it earlier on. I love their second row. I know they're URC top level team, obviously, but it's those two pieces of the pitch that I'm going to be really interested in looking at. Obviously, we're moving Robbie into 13 with Geordie starting, which is going to be great. Ryan coming back in beside Snyman. Like if we can do a job in those two areas of the pitch, it's going to be a great day out. There will be a struggle, obviously. They're top levels, but that's going to be where my I'll be watching with my bucket of popcorn tomorrow.
Yeah, well, one thing's for sure. Nobody's going to be predicting a repeat of the last time Glasgow came to Aviva a few weeks ago. This is a whole
Yeah,
different ball game. Having Tuipulotu back is huge, but him
yeah.
and Jones, that's possibly the Lions could be the Lions starting combination for all we know at the moment. And we know what they can do at this end of the season. So it's a very strong lineup they're put out there. But anyway, listen, that's the Glasgow team, and they'll definitely be looking to take something away from the Aviva. Okay, so now we're going to have a quick look at the officials. Mr. Ben Whitehouse, one of our favorite referees, is holding the whistle, and he's got a Welsh TMO and a couple of Irish assistants. The weather for Dublin 4, it's been good the last couple of weeks. Supposed to be the same this week. Clear, 10 degrees in the evening, 7:30 kickoff, little or no wind. I never believe 0% rain anytime, but that's what they're saying. But anyway, listen, we're going to have a quick look at the other matches in the URC this weekend. Very important ones for the other very important ones for one province in particular to stay in the race for the top 8. But what one match stands out for you?
Well, the beautiful thing about this weekend is I'm home alone and I have control of the television for the
Ooh,
entire weekend. So I'm
ooh,
watching two more games. So
whoa.
I need our Connacht brothers and sisters to start turning this thing around. Okay. I need a strong end to the season. Zebra, they're away to Zebra. I need them to turn them over. Okay, that has to happen for me to feel happy as a human being because I love Connacht. And then I'm also going to be watching Munster, right? Because I want Munster to win. I want to bring my kids to the Aviva Stadium to watch us beat Munster in the Aviva Stadium in the quarter final because that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm actually going to be cheering on Munster with my fingers crossed because I won't be cheering for them in 2 weeks. And I really hope Connacht turn them over because they're having a horrible, horrible season. Last few games have been pretty bad, and off the pitch, it just seems to be falling apart for them as well. And we need, especially with the budgets and everything being released soon, and the nonsense with the sevens, all that, we need Connacht not to be forgotten. It's easy because they're out on the wilds of Galway. Um, we need to take care of them properly, give them the infrastructure they need to allow them to perform. Great players there. There's a future number 9 for Ireland playing on the bench for them. We need things like this to be taken care of. So they're the two games I'll be watching as well as us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ulster and Connacht, unfortunately, are out of contention for the top 8. But that Munster Benetton is it's essentially a winner take all. This point system throws up a million permutations, and we'd be here all day if I went through them all. But I think whoever loses might still get through,
Yeah,
but whoever wins is definitely through. So that's a huge. And it's nothing taken for granted either. We're talking about center pairings. Brex and Menoncello for Benetton are not going to make things easy for Munster. That's going to
yeah.
be a hell of a game on the Friday night. We're recording this Friday lunchtime, so in case you're wondering why we don't know the result. But anyway, lots of other big games as well. The Stormers against Cardiff, they're still in contention. Bulls trying
Yep.
to hold on to second spot, home to the Dragons. Edinburgh against Ulster. Edinburgh still playing, still going for that top 8. That kicks off half an hour before Munster, so there's that bit of lag. That could be interesting the way those two games going on almost at the same time. You've also got Lions against Ospreys and the Sharks against the Scarlets. Right, head on the block time, Keego. How do you see it going at HQ on Saturday?
I picked Leinster plus 10 with a late kick by Sam.
Oh,
To a late penalty, probably caused by Jack Conan being an absolute animal. So I think Leinster plus 10 is what I've picked for that.
very good. Okay, listen, we're going to leave it there, man. Many thanks for joining us. So, what stand-up gigs do you have coming up?
So Sunday week, I'm actually heading up to Buncrana, Donegal. So all our Ulster fans, I think that's Ulster, ordinary level geography. I will see you all there, Buncrana Cinema, on Sunday the 25th.
You bringing the surfboard?
I bring in the surfboard and the wetsuit, so it's something for everyone. Yeah.
There you go. Listen, that's you'll find all the links to Keego stuff in the program notes. And many thanks to you all for checking out our latest preview show. If you can tune into Dublin South FM after the 5 o'clock news, you'll catch our latest Harpin segment there. Then be sure to enjoy the match wherever you are and leave a comment on our Facebook page after the full-time whistle. We will, of course, have our rap pod, which we'll record on Sunday night. Hopefully, you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.